I'm going to give it over to Sonja. Please take it away.
Thank you so much, Patrick.
Yeah.
Lovely to be here.
Great.
A very warm welcome also from my side to all the viewers from across the globe. Let's speak about UltraCreativity. How to develop a mindset that makes you unlock your full potential and that helps you overcome any challenge there might be and turn change into chance and opportunity. As Patrick already mentioned, my life has been quite exciting. I've had massive success and I'm very grateful for it. But I've also had quite a few challenges that I needed to overcome. And trust me, I've gone through some very, very painful phases as well. What I'm going to share with you today are the powerful tools that have helped me get to the top, but that have also helped me get back up again when I fell, and that have helped me get through any challenge that I have personally and professionally faced. I used to be the director of marketing for BMW in Asia. Now, valid question, why on earth did I leave? I basically had the perfect job in an amazing country, being based in Singapore, looking after the Asia-Pacific region. Could it get any better? Well, to be honest, I thought it couldn't get any better. I was at the height of my career. But then my life was turned upside down. All of a sudden, after 3 years of doing a phenomenal job there, bringing in all the results, my boss called me into his office and said, Sonja, very little emotion in his voice, headquarter needs you back for a strategic project. You're going back to Munich. Bam! I seriously didn't know what to say. My dreams were shattered. My whole world was turned upside down, just as many of you would experience or would have experienced this year with Corona. I was so excited about what I was doing in Asia. I just loved it. I loved what I was doing. And then all of a sudden it was like, go back to Munich, lead a strategic project that I really wasn't all that excited about. So what did I do? I didn't give up. I did one thing. I listened to my heart. I thought, okay, what is it really that I want to do? What feels right? And it was very clear, very quickly, that I wanted to stay in Asia, that I really wanted to inspire more people and take people to beautiful areas and really take them outside their comfort zone. And immediately I knew in order to do that, I had to leave BMW. Obviously, not an easy decision. And then I thought, okay, what can I really do? What are my strengths? And that is the second tool of UltraCreativity. If you want to excel, fully focus on your strength. And it starts with knowing what your strengths are. I'm a visionary thinker. I'm a doer as well. I have guts. So I thought, okay, I can actually do this. I can step out of the corporate world and set up my own business. So when you want to go to the next level, focus on what you're good at. Don't worry about what you're not good at. Focus on your strengths. And then the third thing is totally ban the word cannot from your vocabulary, but also from your thoughts. But it's not easy to just say, okay, I'm not going to use the word, ooh, I cannot do this anymore. No, you've got to come up with a solution, and that is ask the question why or how. How can I find a solution? Like, I've had many moments in my career where I had an idea and everyone around me just said, oh, you can't do this. Like in Singapore, I was going to do a special photo shooting for our VIP clients in Changi Airport. And everyone in my team just said, no, you can't do this. And I'm like, why? Well, no one has done it before. And then I'm like, okay, how are we going to do it? Because if no one has done it before, I want to be the first. Took us a few phone calls. After 2 weeks, I was speaking to the head of security at Changi. He loved the idea. And there we were. For the first time ever, a corporate photo shooting and an event happened in the restricted area of Changi Airport. So quite often when you have these limiting thoughts, or when people approach you and say, difficult, can't be done, just come back and say, how can it be done? I'm going to share a little example of my mom. Now, my mom is not a very tech-savvy person. She has an iPhone. She can kind of use it. She's okay sending photos via WhatsApp, but really she cannot type. Now, she wanted to send me a little note this morning saying, good luck for the speech. Now, my mom can't type. The easiest way would have been to say, well, I can't type, I'm not going to send it to her. But my mom has this mindset of, how can I do it? So she came up with this idea of, I want to write her a message, so I just physically write it down, take a photo and send the photo across. That's the mindset we need, especially in difficult times. One way might not work. Well, turn around and choose another way. There's always solutions. Just don't be stuck in this mindset of, oh, we can't do it. Find another way. Ask around, how can we do it? Don't limit yourself. So where was I with my decision of leaving BMW? I had listened to my heart. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew, and I was very well aware of my strengths. And I had banned the word cannot. So despite everyone else telling me, you can't leave BMW, oh my God, how can you leave such a big position? I knew that it was the right thing to do, and I was ready to step outside the comfort zone. But you know what? Stepping outside the comfort zone is not easy, especially when your comfort zone is as comfortable as mine was. And I have to admit, it took me weeks to make that decision. Sleepless nights, hesitation, doubt, and it's totally normal. One thing I want to share here, if you are about to take a big step, be fully aware that yes, there will be moments where you question if this is the right way, where you will have doubt, where you will have moments of, oh my God, am I going to really be able to do this? But then there's another very simple tool that has helped me tremendously. I call it, do the reality check. And it's a very simple question. Just honestly ask yourself, what is the worst thing that can possibly go wrong? Honest answer. In my case, was I going to be starving? No. Was I going to lose my friends, my family, my home? Was I really going to have any serious issue? I mean, leaving BMW, the biggest thing, I was going to lose my title, all the beautiful benefits that came with it. But in the end, I had a good career, I had a good CV, I had my skills. Nothing really big was going to happen. So I said, you know what? Let me just give it a go. So I stepped outside the comfort zone. And it was a big step for me. But that was not the end. Once you step outside the comfort zone, another thing needs to happen. You need to be fully determined. And let me show you this photo of my friend Louis Pugh. This is a photo that was taken in the polar ocean. Water temperature is minus 1.7 degrees, which is colder than the freezing point because there's so much salt in the water that the water doesn't freeze at +4. Now Louis is not just in there, he is doing a 20-minute long distance 1 kilometer swim. Why on earth would anyone do that? Because this is not just uncomfortable. This is painful beyond what we can experience and seriously, seriously dangerous. So why would Louis do that? He does it to raise awareness for the protection of the world's oceans. And if you're really committed to something, you need to give it your all. If he just rallied and lobbied and said, you know what, guys, please protect the oceans, no one would listen. The way he does it, he puts in everything he has and more. And he thus manages to get the attention from world leaders. The next big question that I asked Louis just recently was, Louis, how? How on earth do you do it? Because obviously this is painful beyond words. And he said one important sentence. That's something that's guided me through a lot of my challenges. There is nothing more powerful than a made-up mind. There's nothing more powerful than a made-up mind. So my mind was made up as well. I jumped into the cold water, although mine was nowhere near as cold as this. I left BMW, and within a few months I had set up my first agency, Sonnenkind. We were soon taking international brands like Land Rover, Leica Camera, to the most beautiful countries in the world, taking their customers on unforgettable journeys. This one, for example, for a big automotive company, we took their VIP clients to Mongolia to meet the nomadic people and really get a good connection to this brand. Fantastic. What another thing that happened during these 2 years after I left BMW, I started getting bookings as keynote speaker, and that was never really my plan, but it was just one of those things, a door opened, I stepped through, and I just loved it. And within no time, I was speaking for all the big companies like Google, the Badminton World Federation, Gilead. I'm here now for the market leader in sensor intelligence. I've spoken in the most amazing places like the Allianz Arena in Munich. So this is one thing, if there's a door that opens, have the courage to just step through. The press was loving what I was doing. I was winning awards, and within the second year, my agency made the first million turnaround. I was like, oh my God, can it get any better? No, it didn't get any better. 2020 hit. And I can tell you one thing, 2020 has been the hardest and toughest year I've ever experienced, both personally as well as professionally. And had it not been for the tools I have learned over the many years, I don't think I would be standing here today. In January, I lost a child. In February, my partner gave up and left me. In March, COVID hit, and both my businesses came to a complete standstill. There I was, from skyrocketing to absolute devastation. That's the moment where you need to really focus on what you've learned and what has propelled you out of difficult situations before. And I'm very sure that many of you have experienced very tough times this year, and that many of you are still struggling. But there's one thing that I have learned that I really want to share. Ask for help. Dare to ask for help. I have never in my life asked for help. I've always been the one that helped others, that was strong, that had this image of Supergirl that never really needed any support. And all of a sudden there I was, totally devastated, in the most extreme pain imaginable. And that's when I realized I need and I'm allowed to ask for help. And one of my friends had the most beautiful answer when I finally reached out and said, Andreas, I need your help. I would have expected anything but what he said. He said, Sonja, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for trusting me and for allowing me to be there for you now. And it was such a heartwarming moment to actually see how willing my friends are and how open they were to my vulnerability, which I had never shown before. And all of a sudden they saw me just as a normal person that, yes, has had some success and will have success again, I'm totally sure about it, but that also goes through really deep valleys and that can experience moments where I also said, I don't know what the next step is going to be. But if 2020 really has taught me one thing, is do ask for help. Show your vulnerability and reach out to business partners, reach out to friends and allow them to be there for you. Be agile and be flexible. That's another thing. 2020 has been a roller coaster ride where the world as we knew it does not exist anymore. So rather than saying, oh yeah, it'll all come back to normal, no, it might not. It probably won't. But what we can do is we can just say, you know what? Let me adopt to the new world. And it might not always be easy, and we might sometimes not really know how. But there's a way of just having that mindset of, you know what? Whatever will happen, we'll be ready for it. We'll see how we can navigate this challenging time. And yes, it is challenging, and it's a bumpy road. But if we have the right mindset, and if we just say, okay, you know what, it is what it is. And with all these challenges, there are actually a lot of opportunities as well. Like, I mean, who would have thought that digitalization experiences such a boost at the moment? I mean, even just having a virtual conference like this, it's beautiful. You just have to be open for it. When my keynote speaking business globally all of a sudden woof, came to a standstill because flying was not longer a possibility, events were all being cancelled, I said, you know what, I'll do it virtually. And all of a sudden, a university, the leading university in Russia contacted me and they're like, Sonja, can we get you for a virtual event? And I just said, you know what, let's have a discussion. Of course, let's do it. Little did I know that I was actually the lead-up speaker to Les Brown. And there were people speaking like Mr. Harari. I mean, seriously, I had no idea. Had I said, you know what, it's just a virtual event or I'm not comfortable doing it via Zoom, I would not have had that opportunity. So just be flexible, be agile, and have that mindset of, you know what, let's give it a go. You just don't know. There's so many doors at the moment that are opening. The important thing is that we understand what are we good at, and yes, there is a door, and I will just have the courage to step through without knowing what might happen. But the important thing to actually be successful during this time and to get out of this challenging time is choosing the right partners. Now, we can't do it on our own. And there are so many opportunities these days where it's all about finding the right partners on a personal level, but also on a business level. I know very little about sensor intelligence, but one thing I know, the team here at SIG has such an incredibly beautiful mindset, and the spirit, it's one of the most amazing cooperations I've ever had. Now, I'm not getting paid to say this, but if you choose a partner to work with to make you soar and to elevate your business at this time, choose, first of all, the market leader, yes, tick, but choose also the team, the partner with the right mindset and the right spirit. Because in the end, they are going to be the ones that will make you soar. If you work with the right partners, you will develop the most incredible ideas and solutions for your businesses. So from my experience working with the team, with the international team here at SIG, is they are phenomenal. Have a chat, just see if it works. And again, I'm not getting paid to say this. I say this because I'm deeply touched by the spirit. Now, coming back to the different tools I talked you through, let's have a look at them again. And they might not all be necessary for you at this very moment, but overall, choose the ones that will help you make this difficult situation turn it into opportunities and turn it into new chances. Listen to your heart. Really trust your gut feeling. Does it feel right? Is that something that could work? And then focus on what you're good at. Forget all the worry about the things that you're not great at. What are you really good at? What's your company good at? What's your team good at? Focus on that. And then whenever someone says, oh, this can't be done, I don't think that this will work, just change it and go back, okay, how would it work? Just ask that question, how? How would it work? How can we make it work? Then leave the comfort zone, and you just have to have the guts to do it. Just do it. And when those little thoughts of, oh my God, is it going to be the right thing come up, just ask yourself the question, what's the worst thing that can possibly go wrong? And in most cases, you'll see it ain't going to be that hard. Then, once you've stepped outside the comfort zone, think of Louis Pugh. If he can survive and last 20 minutes in freezing cold water, where literally his fingers, his feet, his body freezes, then you can pull through as well. Have that momentum and have the guts to just pull it through. And if along the way it gets a bit bumpy, ask for help. Don't be shy, ask for help. And be agile and flexible in your mind so that you can actually choose the solutions and the new ways that are necessary during this time. And most importantly, choose the right partners that will help you and that will take you by your hand during this challenging time. Good luck and all the very best. May you soar and may you get through this with a lot of opportunities and open doors that you will step through. Thank you very much.